Hi girls, welcome back after your Easter break. I hope you enjoyed 2 weeks of really lovely weather. Again, unfortunately, we're not back in the school building, but we're going to continue with our science course as best as we can. And when I left you, the last thing that I asked you to do was your learning quad for space exploration, and I'm still waiting on a couple of those. And the first thing I would like to say, girls, is if you're having difficulty accessing the information, Edmodo or something like that, then you just need to send me a message through your own Edmodo account, through somebody else's, through email. But I'm going to be chasing this week just the few people who haven't interacted with Edmodo at all, and you know who you are. And we just need to see if we can get that fixed, girls, because otherwise you're falling behind. We've another 5 weeks to end of term, and I'll be hoping to get another 2 chapters done on top of this chapter, so maybe another 3. Space exploration and another 2 chapters, if at all possible, done between here and the end of the year, so we're not leaving ourselves too stuck next year with too much to do. So for this week, girls, the work that I'm going to assign today is work that you will take with you right to the end of the week, so right till Friday's class, and it'll be due as part of Friday's work. So one of the things that you will have to do for your CBAs in third year is write literary reviews, and that's really what we have been working toward in the last maybe 6 or 8 weeks, where we started researching things on the internet, we started talking about different things off the internet. So this is the final product of that, okay? So what I'm going to ask you to do, girls, is to take a look for me at Women in Space. So the title of your essay is going to be Women in Space. And I'm going to give you some criteria for success, okay? So criteria for success means that if you do all of these things within your essay, then I will say you've reached your expected outcome, okay? So you'll have met my expectations, you'll have done what I asked you to do, perfect, okay? If you do more than what's written on this sheet, because you have more time available to you or you have an interest in the topic, then you will go above my expectations. And if you do an exceptional piece of work, I will let you know that it's an exceptional piece of work, okay? So we're going to take a look, as I say, at the criteria for success for this particular one. I'll take a picture. I have it written down here on a sheet of paper, and I'll take a picture of it and pop that up alongside the video. So this essay is due for Friday at the end of what would be Friday's class. So normally I'd take you to the computer room at this point, and we would have a class where you would do the research in the computer room. So that would be today and Wednesday's class, and then I would give you Friday's class to write it up, okay? Now, just because I am not doing a video for you Wednesday or Friday does not mean that you cannot contact me with problems that you encounter when you go to do this. So you might come up with a couple of things and you're not sure. Put a comment in underneath the assignment, okay? And I'll come to the comment and I'll answer it, or somebody else along the class will. Once you have your essay done, I would ask you to submit it. So there'll be a button, Submit Assignment. Click on Submit Assignment. If you've handwritten it, you can take a picture of it, of your assignment. And that allows me to give you comments and grade it. And if you have typed it, you can upload it as a Word document. And again, it lets me go in, read it, and give you comments, etc. when I go to correct it. Okay. If you have very little homework for the next couple of days and you want to get it done by Tuesday, by all means put it in by Tuesday. But it's not due till Friday. Okay. So the first criteria for success is that it has to be 2 pages handwritten or 1 page typed, okay, a normal font 12. So you need 2 pages of handwritten or 1 page of typed. The second one is, the title is Women in Space. So your first thing is to decide who you're going to focus on. Are you going to focus on a particular woman or 2 or 3 different women who have visited space? So it's space exploration, so they need to have visited space, okay? When you are investigating the individual or the 2 individuals or 3, you need to tell me what was the purpose of their visit. So why were they going into space? What were they trying to find out? What was the hopes that they would gain from that visit? The second thing you need to tell me is when and where did they visit. So when they went on their space exploration, what year, the date they took off from, and where were they going. So were they going to circulate the moon? Were they going to land on the moon? Were they going to the space shuttle? Were they trying to orbit further out of space? Where were they going? You need to tell me what they learned from their visit, so what the benefits of what their visit was on society. So what did we all learn as a result of them going out into space? So maybe we learned that there was the potential for water on the moon, or maybe we learned that the atmosphere on the moon is less dense or more dense. What did we learn as a result of that woman or women going to space? You need to have at least 5 references. Okay, so you need to have looked up 5 pieces of information on this woman or women, depending on which one you go for. So you mightn't find enough on one woman to get 2 pages written, so you might decide to look at 2 different women or 3 different women to get that information. But you needed to have at least 5 references. Okay, and those references need to be listed at the bottom of your essay so that I can Google them and check them. And you need to discuss at the end of your essay why you feel your references were reliable or unreliable. It doesn't bother me whether they're reliable or unreliable as long as you tell me why. So that's going back to what we were doing when you finished up with me in class time. We were talking about, how do I know if something is reliable? So I know if it's reliable if it's a .org or a .edu website. I know it's reliable if I can find that same information on another website.